Yo, so it's the end of class, and you are tasked with writing a full body paragraph in response to the text on the page. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Okay. So, first way to ensure that you do this is to use all the resources that are given to you. So it says, well, now switch to this Pear Deck to student mode at the top. Use your notes from the previous slides or your returned Pear Deck and put them together. Then right over here is my face. Right, I'm on top of the prompt. There's the prompt. Indirect characterization is when an author uses actions, dialogue, figurative language, and/or description to provide clues about a character's personality. How does the author use indirect characterization for a sea in the proudest blue and use evidence for the text to support your answer? So you're looking at that, all that blue of the prompt, and you wondered what's going on with the red. Well, in Mr. Surface's class, when you see the color red, you also write red unless told otherwise. So you start here and going step by step. Step one, right? Step one, two, three, four, five, and six. All right, there are 6 steps. Step one, we already did. We read the prompt. Check. Step two is to write a thesis. That just kind of takes you to your body paragraph. You don't have to really write the thesis unless you want to. So I'm just going to give you this as your number 3, your topic sentence starting off, right? So I would write the red. The author uses indirect characterization. Characterization for Asia in the story The Proudest Blue. Perfect. Then I put a dot. Now it says step 4 is context, and it starts with the sentence in this story. Well, let's say you want to go back and take a look at an example from earlier. It might match this, it might not. In this case, it does. So you did this earlier in class, and it's likely that Mr. Surface also sent it over to your Go Guardian. So, oh, looks like he did, right? It looks like he uses step 1A and step 1B to set up 1C, which is where this quotation comes from, right? In green. In this story, Asiya and Faiza go to the hijab store, right? This is 1A, that block on the left, with their mother. Asiya gets a new blue hijab for her first day of school. The next day, the sisters go to school, and once there, Asiya is laughed at by some 6th grade boys, right? They're in there. That's later in the story. That's later in the story, but it's the same boys, the same 6th grade boys, right? So what you could do is you could copy and paste here if it matches exactly. Control C, all right, and then you can take that all the way back to slide 22, which is where usually this will be. So I'm going to go over there. Boom, here I am in this story. I'm going to put my context right there. Check. I got my context. So I got my topic sentence, 3. I've got my context, 4. Now I got to get my quotation. And my quotation is going to come right from here. This is where you're getting the evidence from. This is where you're getting the quotation from, right? If you were earlier in the slides, you would have done this with this, right? You would have said, oh, yeah, a C is very important here. And indirect characterization seems very important to me. And the dialogue here seems important, and maybe you like the figurative language up here seem to support it, and there's some more figurative language up there you could have used. Boom, right? So, oh yeah, there's the thing right there, and the quote is this: "Some people won't understand your hijab," Mama has said, "but if you understand who you are, one day they will too." I might just use that whole quote. You know me. All right, let's get back to 22. Boom. So let's start writing it. So this is a quotation. So I'm taking it from the other page. So I'm going to put a quotation mark, show that it is not it doesn't come from my head. It comes from a book. Okay. And then step 2, since it's dialogue, I got to put an apostrophe, and boom, I can go from there. Some people won't understand your hijab, comma, apostrophe to show that the person is no longer talking. Mama had said, period. Another apostrophe to show that they're going to say some more. But if you understand who you are, one day they will too. Period. Parentheses, since it's dialogue, and a quotation mark to show that it's the end of their words. And I'll be starting my words again soon. Okay? So now, what do I do next? Well, I got to figure out, all right, I know what I got to figure out. I got to figure out what to do with the quotation, right? Step 6. You see this noun verb, if then, and the word important. So those will be my other sentence starters, right? Well, I'll start with the this noun verb. Now, I think I might have worked on that earlier. Let me see. Maybe Mr. Surface sent me a this noun verb example. He usually does that. He's so stinking nice and handsome and amazing. So let's take a look. Oh, he did. This perspective illustrates or this advice shows. And this is going with the quotation that my face is floating on top of right now. Some people won't understand your hijab, Mama had said, but if you understand who you are, one day they will too. This perspective, this advice, this understanding shows, right? All of those would work. So I'd copy and paste those bad boys, and I would head on back. Now, will it always match? No. Sometimes you'll have to figure it out just on this slide here, but let's give it a shot. I'm going to put all three and then choose my favorite. Oh, I like perspective. All right, and what does it illustrate? That Asiya's mother knew she might experience some ignorance. She might experience some poor behavior from her 6th grade classmates, right? And indeed, right? They laughed at her. It was awful, right? So now we got to use an if-then sentence. Well, Mr. Surface often gives us an example of those too. Maybe it'll go with the paragraph. Maybe it won't. Usually it does. Okay? So if her mother had not prepared her, then she may have taken off her article of faith, the hijab, when she was teased. Ooh, that was a good one. All right, so maybe you use the classmates, maybe you use your own, maybe you use Surfaces, but whatever it is, you're going to put it in here with the full body paragraph. Let's take a look. Boom. Now, the last one is there's no slide that kind of goes with it except for the example slide from earlier. So you can see how did they use the word important there. Well, it says the mother's remembered dialogues occur throughout the novel and are important. Well, there you go. I like that. The mother's dialogue is repeated throughout the story. All right, maybe modify dialogue with important so I know I have it. Boom. Now I'm done. If I want to double check it, I can go all the way back. It'll always match the prompt for sure. And I can double check it using this full essay response to the same prompt that I'm working on now. And if I want to go step by step and make sure that I've done everything that I ought to do, I can say, all right, I've got my prompt, I've got my thesis, here's my topic sentence, I've got my context. Does my context look like the context here? Does my quotation look like the quotation here? Does my explanation look like the explanation here? Yes, it does. Boom, I'm good to go. All right. So thank you for your time and attention. I hope this helps you with your paragraphs.